And as the country gears up for Thursday's inauguration of the new president, we invited Kinshasa Times editor Aime Zonveni on Skype to share with us the feelings of ordinary Congolese and the way forward after the inauguration. Aime, a very good evening to you. It's always great to have you. First of all, what led to the postponement of the inauguration and how are the plans unfolding?
Well, according to the recent news and developments on the ground, it's basically related to the logistics of preparing this first transfer of power. You know, the court gave its ruling on Saturday after 2 days off in the DRC, which did not allow for the State House to get ready, sending out all the invites and getting all the logistics ready. That is the reason that has been mentioned as explaining this postponement to Thursday when Felix Tshisekedi will be inaugurated as president of the DRC.
Basically, how are ordinary Congolese feeling about the Court ruling, essentially confirming Mr. Tshisekedi as president?
Mixed feelings. Tshisekedi's followers are quite jubilant and very happy that eventually their leader was confirmed winner of the elections held in December, while another group of people, mostly those that do not follow Tshisekedi, still believe that they were robbed of their victory, mostly people following Martin Fayulu. And also there's this feeling in the country broadly where people believe that maybe this election did not really reflect the will of the people, but it is what it is now that Tshisekedi has been confirmed the definitive winner.
Now, we do understand that the police have dispersed a group of supporters, Martin Fayulu's supporters, when he was about to address them. Can you, with authority, say that this is perhaps an extension of the regime of Mr. Joseph Kabila?
Very hard to tell. You know, every time there's an election in the DRC, the losing party invariably, consistently disputes the results. And as has happened in 2011, Tshisekedi's father even declared himself the winner. And such moves are often contained by the police. So I think it will be quite early to tell and say that this is the continuation of the practices that we have seen with the outgoing regime. We might want to wait and see if such cases are repeated, then it could become a trend and confirm that there's continuity of the same trends.
And what is Mr. Fayulu saying now? I mean, what are his options?
I think his options now are quite limited because he has exhausted all the legal avenues to try and claim what he believes is his victory. I think now what he will have to do is just maybe continue being an opponent and operate from the parliament because he's also been elected as member of parliament. So he will now have to play his role, hopefully play his role as an opponent in the political configuration that will emerge after all the institutions are in place.
Do we know at this point what is on President-elect Felix Tshisekedi's first pages of his work diary? What are some of the issues that he will be tackling head on?
It's very, you know, when he was campaigning, the question was put to him and he said he could not tell exactly what it is he would be starting with. But I think as we are progressing with the new institutions being put in place, you know, the parliament will be established on the 26th. Then only will we have a government. And I think it is from there that President Tshisekedi will know who he will be partnering or interacting with, and this will determine what it is he will do. But meanwhile, we can say that he promised that one of his first decisions would be to close all the prisons where political opponents were incarcerated. And he also promised that he would be moving his headquarters to Eastern DRC, more specifically in Beni. Whether he will live up to these promises remains to be seen. But I think we will get clarity on what is on his table in the next couple of months.
The African Union in particular wasn't so pleased with the latest outcome and saying that they had noted the serious doubts in the counting process of the ballots. So does that give you some sort of indication of what kind of attitude they would have towards the incoming leadership of the DRC?
Well, even though they have expressed doubts on the veracity of the results that have come from the polls, they still have taken note of the confirmation from the Constitutional Court. So I think it is a fact that the African Union will have to live with, but also at the same time, there are many other groups in Africa, including SADC, that has already congratulated the president-elect. So I think the African Union will just have to live, at least part of the African Union will have to live with the fact that this is a president that is elected, and they believe that he has been elected with doubts surrounding his elections.
It's not only the African Union which has expressed doubts, and also the country's Catholic Church. Are they now taking a backseat?
They have indeed taken a backseat. They have said that for theirs was only the duty was to observe the elections as it has happened, but it was not, the onus was not on the church to tell who has won. That was responsibility of the Electoral Commission, and they said they didn't believe that it was Tshisekedi who emerged victorious, but then they said because Seni has announced him victorious, they will just have to live with this fact and preserve stability and peace rather than rock the boat.
I mean, the confirmation of President-elect Mr. Tshisekedi is a constitutional prerogative. I mean, the Constitutional Court has confirmed that he is indeed the winner. But then for the African Union to be saying that, well, they're expressing doubts about the court ruling and, of course, the counting process, does that not, defeat the sovereignty of the DRC and, of course, the independence of the highest court in the land?
It cast indeed disrepute and it cast doubt on the work of the Constitutional Court, which is the highest legal institution in the country. But at the same time, the DRC claims and maintains that it is a sovereign country and that the decisions of the court are final and should be enforceable to everyone, including to members of international organizations. So I think what we have now, to me, will be the final political dispensation that we will be ushering in the DRC for the next 5 years, even though the AU has said it is having doubt, but I think it will not change anything much on the ground.